Hi folks. Now let's take a look at a few more pay-for-performance examples. In the last video we started talking about commissions and how they're calculated. We can get a combination of base pay, which is your straight salary plus a little commission. Sometimes insurance representatives work that way, and even financial service reps can sometimes work that way as well. We could also look at merit pay. Merit pay might be something like, say you're an administrative assistant or an HR assistant. You don't necessarily sell anything, so we can't say we're going to give you commission on anything, but we could say we might give you a 2 or 3 or 4% pay increase per year. So if you're making $30,000 a year, a 4% pay increase would be an extra $1,200 a year for you, right? So those are like merit pay systems. And then we can give you some profit sharing, stock ownership, and what we call Gainsharing. Those kinds of programs are really tied to the profitability of a company. So say, for example, a company earns profits during the quarter. They might decide that they want to split that with their employees. So maybe the company might keep 80%, and if they've made $1 million in profit, they keep 800,000, and the 200,000 might be split up among the employees. So obviously if you have 100 employees, they can get a good sum there, right? In terms of a little commission or a little profit sharing. So again, it's up to the company to decide how they want to share those profits. All right, so that's just an example. If we look a little bit closely at variable pay, or pay that's kind of up for grabs or based on how you perform, some of the more popular pay for performance programs that are out there are what we call cash bonus or incentives. So those would be things like your commission structures, your merit pay, or not merit pay, but your commission structures, and some of your bonus programs, if you get a bonus. Companies who had profit sharing, only 12% of them were doing profit sharing, which is giving their employees a piece of the profit. Gain sharing programs are normally tied to production environments. We'll talk about them a little bit later, but only 7%. And then team-based incentives, so based on how well the team performs. So say, for example, your organization is structured in a team environment, so we might try and get some metrics or get some quantifiable data on how well the team is contributing to the profits of the company, and we might allow them to share in some of that or some cost savings that they've had. Only 6% of the companies that they survey do that, and then any other incentives they lump in here. So by far we can see that commission structures and maybe end-of-year bonuses, those kinds of things, are the most popular that companies tend to use. So if we want to look at incentives that we might give people who sell, we already talked a little bit about commissions, which are a percentage of what you sell. Some of the advantages of a commission system would be that you're going to attract people who are highly motivated to do it, who are real performers and focused on selling, which means when they sell more, because they want to make their commission, the company is obviously making more too, right? Because the more the commission people are getting, the more they must be selling, and you're getting the rest, right? So costs are kept in proportion to sales levels, so you can actually control your compensation costs better, because you know that if a salesperson is selling $1 million worth of stuff, then you know exactly what you're going to have to pay them, right? And it's easy to understand. If you tell a salesperson that's on a commission system that they're going to get 10% of every dollar they sell, they can do some simple math, right? And they can figure out how much they're going to make. Some of the disadvantages, of course, is that it's mostly focused on selling, not necessarily how the customer is feeling about the relationship, but it's probably more bent on selling. It doesn't mean that the sales rep wouldn't be thinking about keeping that relationship strong, because obviously if they do, they'll be able to sell more, but that's not their primary focus. Their focus is more to sell. Some of the other disadvantages is that there's a huge variance in income among salespeople, which, might be good, might be bad. It might demotivate some people who maybe aren't very good at selling, and it may also neglect other duties. So again, sometimes people might come into the office to do paperwork that they might not really want to do because they might be more focused on selling. So those are some of the advantages and disadvantages of commission systems. We're going to talk a little bit in the next video about some combination plans.